This phone call was made on October 13th of 2016 at 3:02 p.m.
Exactly how do I prepare to talk to you, okay?
You're the parent, Carl. It's your responsibility to figure that out.
Okay, the only thing I figured out is to tell them that you're calling. I don't know what else to do, okay? About an expert preparing to talk to you.
That's probably because you're telling him things about when you're not supposed to be.
Sorry, that's just not true, okay? Right here, talk to him.
Alex, I love you very much, okay? Huh? What? I'll see you later, okay? I love you very much, okay? Alright, bye.
This phone call was made on October 13th of 2016 at 3:02 p.m. When we were married, I would make the tough decisions, and Carl would often ask me what to do or how to do something, which is interesting because Carl had decided and wanted to make it very clear to everybody his opinion on what kind of a mother I was and what kind of a person I was. And he and his mother and my mother repeatedly called CPS, telling CPS that I was mentally ill, I was mentally unstable, and that I was delusional. And not only that, but Carl Edward Anthony on court documents stated under oath that I had deteriorating mental health. Yeah. And so, I'm sure that, it is very easy for anybody listening to this podcast and this episode specifically to hear my deteriorating mental health, my deteriorating mental state, by my lack of ability in communicating and my lack of intelligence, which I clearly, obviously do not have. And there's a lot of sarcasm in that statement. And what's funny in this conversation is that my ex-husband, who has told the Harris County Family Court System under oath on court documents, he stated that I had deteriorating mental health. And in this conversation, he is asking me how to prepare our son to have a conversation with me on the phone. Which is interesting, because if I have deteriorating mental health, and if my mind is deteriorating, how am I going to know or have the forethought or have enough of an organized thought process to inform my ex-husband, who divorced me because he felt that I was incompetent as a wife and as a mother? How am I going to know how to tell him to prepare our son to have a conversation with me on the phone? And if he basically divorced me because he felt that I was incompetent, that I was not competent enough to be his wife, nor was I competent enough to be the mother of his children, and so he decided to have his mommy move in because apparently she was more competent, why would he ask me how to do anything? Seems to me like I would be the last person that he would want to ask how to do something. I mean, that is absolutely fascinating. How that works. How he can convince everybody of one specific reality, and as soon as I open my mouth, I somehow contradict that reality. But people believe his reality, even though I can provide evidence that is quite the obvious. It shows that it's absolutely the opposite of what he wants people to believe and what he wants the family court system to believe. I mean, it's just fascinating how we are obviously living in Carl Anthony's world, and if Carl Anthony chooses to drag our child 5 feet across the carpet and give him carpet burn and physically abuse our child, somehow people find that acceptable. I mean, except for me, obviously, I don't think that's okay. Or if he decides to put his hands around our child's neck, and somehow it's acceptable for people to discount our child, stating that his father has physically abused him, and yet Carl Edward Anthony can deny all allegations and everybody takes him at his word. I will never understand. But, maybe the reason why I will never understand is obviously maybe that's exactly what's wrong with me. Which I really don't believe that. That is sarcasm. My sarcasm is coming out, which is not what I planned on, but it reminds me, it makes me feel like I am Alice in Wonderland. That is what it feels like. I feel like I am Alice in Wonderland, where my ex-husband wants to create this false narrative, this false reality that really doesn't exist. And yet I provide recorded conversations that contradict what he says is real. And people still take him at his word, even if I can prove him wrong. That amazes me.